Do you have a huge list of movies that you need to watch? If you said yes, then great, because I do too. Therefore, I invite you to watch this video. And if you said no, then how? I'm extremely jealous of you. But I still invite you to watch this video because since you don't have a list that you need to get through, you can watch me get through mine. Hey, my name is Pavel and today I'm going to be starting a new mini-series and I'm going to title it Watching Bucket List Movies. As the title suggests, I will be watching movies that are on my bucket list. But for this little series, I actually have a poster that has a lot of movies on it and I'm going to scratch off everything that I watch. There's 100 movies on the poster and I have 56 left to watch. It's embarrassing that I haven't seen all these movies, so basically I'm going to just document myself watching them and get through all the classics. Let me actually get the poster and show you what it's like. So here's the poster. I don't know if you can see it. I think you can see it. So this is everything that I've seen. I'll swap the camera in a second and you can see everything. But basically how it works is I'm going to watch one of these today and every single video, and then I'm going to scratch it off and give my opinion and yeah, just kind of talk about the movie and hopefully make this a short series. I don't want to make the videos too long. The reason I'm doing this is because I want to get better at speaking about film. I'm not very confident at reviewing movies. Like I have a lot of thoughts, but I don't really know how to actually explain them on camera. I feel like I'm good at typing them up, but I'm not good at actually speaking about them. So hopefully me tracking myself and forcing myself to kind of do this will make me a little bit more confident and I'll get better at this whole making video thing. The approach I'm going to be taking with this kind of series is going to be more laid back. None of this is scripted compared to my other videos that I kind of spend more time on. I'm just going to sit down, record and see what happens. So it'll go alongside the scripted videos and hopefully be a lot more chilled. And I feel like this will motivate me to watch classic movies that everybody has seen except me. And I can't really call myself a film buff if I've not seen the likes of like The Matrix and Reservoir Dogs and stuff like that. So I think this video series is a great place to start. And I think on my own personal bucket list, aside from this poster, I have like 600 and something movies, but I'll deal with those another time and I'll deal with this poster first. So I hope you enjoy it. I'm gonna quickly swap cameras, show you the posters and watch a movie today. Be right back. Hello, I hope you can see me properly now. Okay, so this is the poster. These are all the movies that I haven't seen. They're not scratched off. Basically, you just scratch them, as you can see by my kind of wrecked green mile here. It's really bad because you can actually see all the little markings and it's, never mind. So basically, I'm going to put all these into a little generator, such as like Reservoir Dogs. Oh, it's embarrassing. The more I show this, the more, yeah, it's a bit embarrassing. So I've never even seen The Matrix. I've never even seen Old Boy. I've not seen Scarface. The more that I think about it, the more embarrassed I become. So I'm gonna go put these into a little generator and we'll see what movie we're gonna watch today. Okay, so here's the list. Let's see what we're gonna be watching. Cool. Jaws. Hello, it's me on my phone. So we're going to be watching Jaws. I obviously know what Jaws is. I just have never seen it. Ignore my 2 pairs of jeans and my really bad setup. But I'm going to go watch Jaws and see what I think and then talk about it and definitely add nothing to the conversation that's already been had around Jaws. So be right back. Hello, so I just got finished watching Jaws, directed by Steven Spielberg, and I really enjoyed it. I wrote down some notes and I'll tell you what I thought about the movie. So the first thing that I wrote down was that I really loved the score. Obviously it's so iconic and you could recognize it from anywhere, but starting the movie off with it, I really loved it. It was just great to actually know where it properly came from, not just hear it in like an ad or a YouTube video, but actually see the direct source of where the sound came from. I think Jaws works extremely well because it focuses on realistic fears. Like for example, when you're a child, you often have fears of the unknown. Like you're laying in bed and you think there's monsters in your room or underneath the bed, and it's something that we've all experienced. And I think as you grow up, the fear of the unknown stays with you, but it kind of develops into more like an adult version. So, for example, when you're in the water, you're afraid of for example, I'm afraid of jellyfish, but other people might be afraid of the likes of sharks. And I think this movie plays extremely well on realistic fears. And I think that's why it works so well and why it's so popular is because it's universally relatable. So therefore, I can see why this movie remains a timeless classic, basically. I really enjoyed the characters in this movie. I felt like the three main characters, Martin, Matt, and Quint, worked extremely well. Like, for example, Martin was the character that I related to the most, simply because he was the most afraid. But then I'd say other people would identify with the likes of Quint, who are fearless of the waters and don't care what happened because they've been through so much. And also characters like Matt, who have the brains, who are the brains of the group. And I think having all those characteristics mixed together made this movie work extremely well. I can definitely understand why this movie is extremely influential and can be used as a fundamental base for more contemporary movies such as Sharknado and The Meg, because it sets up the principal idea that is the same in those movies, but those movies kind of go a bit overboard. And I think this is why this movie got extremely high ratings, whereas movies like Sharknado, I haven't seen them, but from the trailers that I watched, I can understand why they didn't work. It's just too hectic and it's too unrealistic, and it's a weird point, but you can see the shark a lot more in those movies. You can see the sharks, but in this movie, you don't really see the shark as much until the very end. And then I personally found when I actually saw the shark in the end, I was like, oh, this isn't as terrifying as I thought it would be. But initially it was terrifying because it was a thought that lived within my head, and I think that can relate to fears as well. So the fears live within your head because they're fears of the unknown, but when you actually are confronted by them, it's a bit different. Obviously, seeing a shark in real life attacking you is terrifying. I think that's what adds to the horror of this movie, is the unknown. I also loved watching how the little corrupt town how the government dealt with the problems that were happening. Like, they clearly prioritized gaining revenue on the 4th of July rather than caring for the welfare of the people. Like, the mayor continuously was like, yeah, just keep it on the low, even though we know that people are dying. We're going to leave the town open just so we can generate more money. And I found that extremely interesting because I think this was filmed in 75, and this is still such a theme that holds up in society and always has and probably always will. I haven't seen the sequels, but I heard they suffer from sequelitis, therefore meaning the movies suck. I know Spielberg didn't direct them, so I'm guessing it was just kind of like a cash grab. I don't know how many more there was, maybe 3, 4, but I'm not going to watch them because I have so many movies left to watch. But I heard they suck. If I had to rate this movie out of 10, I would give it an 8, and I think that's a great score for the first movie that we're watching on this mini-series. It's extremely enjoyable, and obviously if you haven't seen it and it took you this long in life to watch it, like me, you should definitely watch it. I definitely recommend it. So that was me watching Jaws, directed by Steven Spielberg, and I really loved it. I love how influential it was to like the subgenre of horror, shark attack in a little town type movies. Yeah, I definitely really enjoyed it. So, I know I have a huge list of movies to watch, but I still want to know, what should I watch next? Thank you for watching the first episode of this mini-series. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.